You eventually just piss yourself under the desk.
You might never know. You just see a look on my face.
I'm just gonna leave that as the thumbnail.
Are we live?
Yeah.
God damn it.
Let's click right on.
Welcome back to another Last Call podcast.
Hello.
that dramatic intro by Tristan. My name is Mikey T. I'm joined as always through the power of the internet by Tristan in Ohio, and also locally by Dustin Dixon, another gaming dad. We have a full trio of sadness in the building.
Welcome to the Thunderdome, Dustin.
Thanks for having me.
So, the main reason we got you on here is you invited us to it, the Gaming Dads group.
Yeah.
So that is an interesting group.
That is the weirdest place on the internet.
Yes, I don't even know how or why I found this group. Like, I just I think my wife had a bunch of those like moms groups she was in, different like clothing and all that bullshit groups for dads. So I literally just typed dads in the Facebook search group and gaming dads popped up. I game, it's dads. I'm right.
It makes sense.
Right. So, get in there and start talking, and people are like, hey, this is my gamer tag. Freaking add me. There's this Destiny. We're about to crush this here. We're about to crush this there. I got Minecraft. I got World of Warcraft. I got freaking Destiny. I got Halo. Like, I can link up with some of these people and actually play with people I have some sort of interaction with.
Shit, yeah, that is exactly what I thought I would find, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, that sounds amazing."
But no, every time you go in this,
you get that.
I kind of feel like you're just like, you scroll down and it's like, "Hey, I'm tonight, 9:00 Central Time in Castlevania, and I need like 3 other people to join in." Just playing that game right now. I mean, nobody's playing it, so nobody joins this guy. Nobody even likes it, and there's like 15 of these like daily, and other people to play. No one helps them out. Never. I've never seen anybody help anybody out on there like that.
Every once in a while, I see them like a post will just blow up, and it's people going apeshit over one of those type of posts where they're asking for help in a game or trying to get a group together. And it's always like 50% people coming in like, oh, yeah, I'll play that game. I'll meet up with you. Cool. And other people being typical internet garbage people and just jumping in and insulting everybody. Not that I have a problem with that, because that's a lot of what I spend my time on the internet doing. But the fact that this is supposed to be a group that's like united and then everybody's always at each other's throats. And it's never for a good reason.
I don't give a fuck if it's 1,000 people asking to see if anybody will help them out in a game that they're playing that nobody else is. What makes me like, every post I see is like fucking, hey guys, this is my fucking weird kid. Can everybody wish him a happy birthday? Like, what the fuck is this? Like, that's not what I'm here for. I'm not here like, this is my neighbor's kid. He's got leukemia. Can you fucking, wish him a happy... He likes games too. Fuck off. That's not what we're here for. Like, I get it. I have sympathy. I have kids. I love my kids. I want people to wish them happy birthday. But not... fuck you. Fuck... Not everybody there. It makes me feel weird.
Now, obviously, we're like super like strict about what we share on the internet. And I don't expect other people to be like that. But there are people on there that, holy shit, man. Like, it's like, hey, gaming dads, what's your kid's social security number? Mine is. And then everybody's like, hell yeah, I'll share that. It just blows my mind. It's like,
check out this picture of my kids in the bathtub, dudes.
Oh, man, that place is a pedophile's
wedding. Would anybody else play Bathtub Simulator if it was really a game?
It probably is. Wait, there is Shower with Your Dad Simulator.
Well, that's different.
No.
Cheers to that, I guess. Get the...
Cheers.
Sorry if you guys are missing some. Ugh. Never gets any better.
So like right before I added you guys into the group, there was I think it was right before Christmas time, of course. You know, when all these people that come out on the internet saying like, you know, my dog just died, it flew into, you know, a freaking airplane, and you know, we don't have any money to pay the airlines or pay for the dog to get burnt up and throw his ashes into the wind. You know, please send me anything you got. Literally, people dumped money on this dude. I don't even remember what the hell happened, but like dumped so much money on him on his GoFundMe campaign that they allowed to have inside the group.
Oh God.
You know, and then later on it just vanished. Don't know what happened to the story. I was asking people, I was like, what the hell happened? Like, I just remember hearing parts of the story, rolled my eyes, scrolled on, and now it's blown up and the admins are apologizing to the group. What is going on? And like somebody sent it and it was crazy. Like it was some sort of like this is like the third group he swindled this way. Dude made over like $10,000 in each group that he was in.
Holy shit. So you just bounce from group to group and you're just like, oh guys, here's my slightly gaming related story.
I caught the tail end of that when I first joined in. I saw some echoes of whatever that was going on, and I did the same thing you did. I was like, what the hell is this about? Because it of course it's like 400 responses back and forth, and you're like, what garners that kind of response on a Facebook group? And yeah, I can understand.
I always look in there and like, you know, I kind of feel like everybody feels the way, you know, we do. Like that, what we're looking for is like, I guess what I was expecting was a group to discuss games and see some cool game stuff and talk about it as a group of people whose time was limited. And we, you know, none of us are going to spend 1,000 hours on a game, or even maybe 200 or 100 hours on a game. Like, we can all share a common perspective in that, you know, I just don't have the time to spend on games that I used to, because a lot of that is taken up with kids. And I guess that's what I expected. But instead, I see a lot of this kind of fucking, you know, upvote whoring, you know, people just desiring that, oh, give me as many likes and comments as possible. I feel like a bunch of those people that are on there might be like fake people. Like they're like their accounts that are trying to garner interaction. What's the word they look for? The engagement. You know how when companies try and get engagement on an account, I feel like a bunch of people that post on there are probably fake accounts to try and boost engagement that'll later sell to, you know, a gaming company or something like that. Because people just post like 800 posts in a month. Like, oh, what's your first video game you ever played, bro? Like, which I get is fine every once in a while, but like post after post after post, it's weird.
I just thought there were a handful of really bad parents.
Fuck.
I have no time for gaming. I'm not judging what to an extent. I'm not judging how people choose to spend their time. But these guys are saying like, I work 60 hours a week and I still have time for my kids and to play hours of game. Well, then either you don't sleep, which I already don't. So I'm barely finding time for like maybe a couple hours a week, if that. And these guys, they're showing like their accounts online, and it's like thousands of hours of played each month. And I'm like, I don't know how they do it. I mean, hats off to them. That's super fucking impressive.
Being near your kids does not count as being with your kids.
Right, like they're playing on the floor over there.
Yeah.
I gotta get this KD ratio up real quick.
Not gonna lie though, I absolutely will be the one handing the controller that's not plugged in.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, we're playing together.
Of course.
That's how I started. That's how I started gaming with Connor. We'd play Rocket League, and I'd hand him a controller that wasn't plugged in, and he'd have a grand old time. And now he plays with me. Like him and I play together. Like, I mean, you know, he sucks. He's a terrible twos partner, but you know, I can actually play Rocket League with him.
Well, I've been playing a lot of Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yep.
Just grinding for cash the entire time. I have to, because I got 2 kids. So I got one's a 9-month-old, the other one's 2 years old. Now, Grand Theft Auto keeps putting in these double RP, double XP game types that you can play. So when you log in, you can go right to that game type. So I just hit RB, get into that game type. Whether I win or lose, it doesn't matter because I'm getting cash. You know, the grinding is going to happen. And the controller and my daughter be like, yeah, just move the sticks around every 5 seconds. And she's just like, trying to play. And I'm just like, keep racking up the money, honey. That's all I need.
I didn't even think of that. Does that count as child labor? I think we might be.
Yeah, I probably.
It's fake money. It doesn't matter.
GTA money, yeah.
Right.
So that brings up a good question. One of the discussion posts that I did see on there that I had to bite my tongue on was a guy that came on and he said, who here lets their kids play like violent shooters with them or watch them play violent shooters like a Modern Warfare or a Grand Theft Auto? You know, who thinks that's okay? And the threads were largely, yeah, man, fuck it. Let them do whatever they want. So Dustin, your kids are under 1 and 2 at this point.
Yeah.
So they're still kind of, I don't know, sort of not with it completely. They're not cataloging stuff. They don't get what you're watching. But when they get to be 4 or 5 years old, my son's 5, my daughter's 2, when they get to be that age, are you going to let them watch you play Grand Theft Auto 5 for a couple hours?
Yeah, I see. And again, like right now, she's kind of in space. So like, doesn't really matter. Right. I mean, of course, she's probably soaking up some of it because, you know, she sees the guns. She watches Star Wars, so she knows fight. It's one of her words. She knows what fight is.
Yeah, she knows a fight. She knows violence, but like, you know, right. GTA, Modern Warfare, it's next level shit.
You know, when you're acting like you're going to start seeing literally blood and guts and stuff like that and gore. See, I don't think violence necessarily is an issue where gore is more of an issue. Because like you can have violence without actually harming somebody. You got like a good guy and a bad guy scenario.
Yeah, and there's sort of a sliding deal.
Grand Theft Auto, I probably won't be letting my daughter play Grand Theft Auto when she's 5. We're watching it at all.
I think GTA is the I think GTA is the far end of that scale. Like I had a hard time with I got into Destiny for a while. I was playing Destiny pretty heavy for like a couple of months. And, you know, there'd be a Sunday afternoon where the kids were just kind of chilling and I kind of wanted to go down and play Destiny. Even that, you know, it's all kind of lasers and there's no blood on the walls or anything like that, but I still have to explain my job is to kill those other guys. It's a strange conversation to have with a 5-year-old. And it's, you know, it brings up big questions about how you want to raise your kids and what you want to expose them to. I mean, these are the realities of the world. Is that how you want to introduce them to these things? Do you want to normalize those things? Oh yeah, daddy plays this simulator where he murders guys all the time. No, you know, no big deal. I don't know the answer to the question. I was just curious what you guys thought.
I think the distinction is sort of what Dustin was saying. Like there's definitely a range. You know, I think when you get into that more fantasy element of it, where it's a little less obvious, like it's not Mortal Kombat where they're ripping out bones and shit. Or GTA where they're obviously like you're splattering a guy across the pavement. You know, when it's more fantasy and it's a little less visceral, I think you get a little more leeway with that. I still don't think people should be like dumping that all over the kids. Like you don't want them just washed over with this, and that's where I think you run the risk of like becoming desensitized, that sort of stuff, or maybe normalizing it, like you said. But I think they're going to be exposed to it eventually, one way or another. And as long as you are there to sort of usher in what they have to see, I think that's a little better.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I'm with you. Like, you know, I'm kind of a believer in like not let your kids do whatever they want, but like you can expose your kids to all kinds of things as long as you're there to supervise and contextualize, the conversation, watch what they're doing. Yeah, no, I'm with you.
It's a hard, like, you also have to see how your kid responds. I mean, like, my kid's still super young, like he's not even 2 yet, so I don't know, my opinions might change as we move closer, but who knows? I mean, for example, what was the first like awkward or terrible thing that your kid picked up saying? Because they absorb everything, so it's only a matter of time before like your kid like runs into the middle of a family gathering and screams a curse word or something.
My loving wife thinks it's hilarious. I disagree because I can see the negative part coming. My wife thinks it's hilarious that my son will occasionally say, "Oh my God, Becky, look at her butt." And I'm like,
no, yeah, she's right. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's funny until he says that to another little girl at kindergarten, and I've got to take a week off work because he's serving a suspension.
That's true, especially these times, and people lose their shit over everything.
Yeah, man. No, I mean, that's hilarious to the family reunion. It's not fucking funny in first grade.
I know. So the reason I brought that up is my kid was, walking through the kitchen or whatever, and he dropped his toy or something, and he just looks down and he goes, "God damn it." And it took everything in me not to lose my mind laughing, because it was the most hilarious thing ever, and he used it perfectly. That's probably my fault. So now we're just hoping, like, anytime he, like, every once in a while he'll say "damn it," and we have to try to ignore him, so hopefully he stops. But it's so difficult because it's hilarious.
Dustin, what horrible thing is your 2-year-old saying?
So she plays with liquids all the time. Doesn't matter what it is. Liquids is kind of her thing. She loves bath time, and she always wants to carry around an open container of liquid. And when she pours it on the floor, like by accident, because she's 2, so she's right on the floor, she'll be like, shit, 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 shit. And you're just like, just walk around the corner, smirk, and just kind of, like you said, ignore it. Because the best thing to do, if you ignore it, they kind of just stop doing it. Like, eventually, I don't think I've heard her say it in a while now. Used to be every single day. I don't think I've heard her say the word shit a couple months now. Like, at all. Awesome. But yeah, I mean, she used to say it vividly, and because we used to say it around her all the time. And then now she's like super sponge. She's picking up words and she's starting to say them. She has words for everything now. So it's like, you got to cut back on the language a little bit, where I didn't really think I'd be able to, but yeah, I guess so.
I've had a problem recently where like, I got a Sonos speaker in like our like kitchen eat-in area, like kind of where the family hangs out. And so like, I like to put Pandora on there, and I choose different things every night, and I try and like change up the music selection and just play different things. But sometimes I'll just play like regular like pop music, like current stuff. And what I realized is, depending on the station, Pandora doesn't always distinguish between like radio edits of things and like just hard edits of things. So like it'll just start playing a song, it'll just start dropping F-bombs and fucking all kinds of stuff in front of the kids, and Scarlett, who's 2, and Connor especially, who's 5, pick up that stuff. They love singing stuff. I put Queen on for them the other day, and I'm thinking through it. I'm like, is Freddie Mercury gonna say fuck at some point? No, I don't think so, but I gotta think about these things now.
You had that video of your boy rocking out. Wasn't it like Dragon Force or something?
Yeah, no, his favorite song is Through the Fire and Flames from I first heard it from Guitar Hero. Yeah. But I played it for him one day. He loves it, and we got him an electric guitar for his like a little toy electric guitar for Christmas, and yeah, he rocks it. That's his favorite song. It was his favorite song until a couple weekends ago when we saw Lego Batman, which opens with this real like heavy metal like Batman song, and now Dragon Force is old news. Now it's all Lego Batman.
At least he's on a good track.
No, I mean he's digging heavy metal, he's digging guitar. Like he'll come home at the well, yeah, no, there are worse things he could be into. He'd be a huge Katy Perry fan or something like that.
We have so I don't know if your Sonos is connected to like Alexa or you know.
It is.
Yeah, so right now the kid is obsessed with that. So I didn't connect it to anything. It's literally connected to just the internet and itself. So because I don't know that it's bad enough that it's always listening to you. I don't need it connected to everything I own. So I just have it. I'm like a little paranoid about that, so I just leave it alone. But because my parents gave it to us, and the kid's obsessed with it, and he's screaming Alexa at it and telling it to, attempting to tell it to do things, but he's still doing like fragmented sentences, so it doesn't really work out so well. So we found out that it'll spell things for you. So we'll like say, oh, tell it to spell his name or different things. So then,
oh, that's interesting. Okay.
So it's actually been kind of a cool tool, but he can't quite get the sentence out. So now he's just using this sort of broken English sentence structure to try to get Amazon Alexa to do things. And then he just gets progressively more frustrated that it's not doing anything. And then you have to go do it. So you have to sit there and just tell Alexa to spell different things. And just a little bit of me dies every time. But the one time he did get something to play, he's screaming Alexa and you know, different word fragments trying to get it to do things. And all of a sudden it just says, you might like this song from whatever. And it just starts playing a hardcore rap song within like 8 seconds. It starts cursing. I was like, Alexa, stop. Alexa, stop.
That happened like 3 days ago. My kids are coloring, and I'm like, Alexa, put on some jazz in the kitchen. And she's like, playing jazz station. And it's like, it starts playing this like nice jazz music. My kids are coloring. Like, I'm like, I got my shit together. Look at me. But it's a little loud and a little distracting. And so I try to get cute. And I'm like, Alexa, turn the volume down just a little bit. And Alexa's like, playing just a little bit by 50 Cent in the kitchen. And my kids start like rocking out. They like throw their crayons on the ground. It's like bobbing their heads like, no, Alexa, stop that. No, put the jazz back. Fuck.
You're like, am I a terrible parent?
Yeah.
So I did want to transition into this a little bit. I mean, I got my dad bod shirt on. So I think most people know that it's pretty much a trend that you get married, start letting yourself go, you have kids, you pretty much give up on your life. I know both of you guys have recently tried to get back into fitness and start shedding those LBs. How's that process going? I know, Tristan, you've been counting your Fireball calories, and Dustin, you went to start going back to the gym and everything, right? So how's that process going?
Yeah, so I decided not to diet this time. Every single time I've ever gone and done some type of workout, I've always extreme diet, always paleo is the route I went. When I was in the Marines, I gained excessive amount of weight and had to lose it in a month is all they gave me. So I did all kinds of different things like fasting and starvation, basically, just to cut the weight down. And I did. I dropped all 30 pounds every single time in 30 days, which is insane.
Jesus.
That's not good for you.
Remarkably unhealthy.
Yeah. But you know what? At the same time, my fitness went up. It was crazy, crazy time in my life. So now, after having my kids, getting out of the Marines, kid, boom, I stacked on like 30 pounds immediately because of this insane dieting expedition that I went on. And then, you know, right around the corner, I'm starting to lose some weight because I'm hitting the gym and, hitting the gym every morning, because like you can't go at nighttime. Like for me, I can't go right now. Right now is kind of like a period of time of like, I'm going to chill. I normally go to sleep by now, actually. Old man. Right. But I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and I go to the gym for 2 hours. Right before work every day. They got showers at the gym. So it's like my calories, I don't, worry about what I'm eating, because like it all matters what my family's going to eat. If we're eating fucking chicken nuggets and hot dogs for dinner this night, there's no reason to write down them calories. They are all bad. So It's just like, I'm just going to hit the gym a little harder the next day, add a little more cardio into it just to cut back the weight. I've already lost 25 pounds.
Nice.
So I'm just kind of, that's where I'm chopping it. I've been at it for like 3 or 4 months now. So yeah, that's the route I went. No diet, but work my ass off every morning.
Nice. Tristan, how's your, I know you just got back into it, but how's your fitness journey going?
It's going well. So, I mean, oh shit. It's going really well, but I've locked my wife out of the house. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll be back in 30 seconds.
Well, that was interesting. So,
well, shit.
Yeah. So let me ask you this then. So I don't remember. Did you do the traditional order of things? Did you get married and then have kids, or did you have kids and then get married, or?
So knocked her up right before. I think we've been dating for like 4 months. Knocked her up. Like she, she's awesome. Like she's perfect Star Wars fan. So I was like, got it. Like right there. It was just like we were set. And I mean, everything's been perfect, So it's been this whole thing of like speed. Ever since that time we found out she was pregnant, they got engaged. 4 or 5 months later, we got married in March 22nd. So and then kid popped out, end of July 29th. First kid pops out. We go full circle, and then full circle again, and then the second one is out. And he's terrifying because he actually came out not breathing. So it was like, it was horrible. We had to go to the NICU. The NICU wasn't at the hospital. So I live in Elkton, Maryland, which is in Cecil County. So they have the Union Hospital, but then in Delaware, in Wilmington, Delaware, they have AI DuPont, which is like a very like, if you live near the area and your child gets hurt, you would drive to this hospital to take your child, because it's just that amazing of a children's hospital.
Oh, okay.
Like I can't, describe it any way else, but like, yeah, it's an awesome hospital. So they took him over there. We had to drive 45 minutes every single day to, just go be with him, basically, because he was hooked up to like tubes and wires and everything. I'm like, no, like this is ridiculous. Like you guys are making it out to be like bigger than it is. Like he's fine. Like you guys are just doing this for the time being. And I mean, he kept gaining his strength and he finally got out of there. It took about a month, but it was insane. It was like an insane amount of time. And like the whole thing was just crazy. You know what I mean? Cause like, no, like he's fine. He's obviously breathing. Like I see him breathing.
I'm sure.
Like, I don't know what you guys are doing.
A month, like being separated from your kid that early and for that long. I mean, that's gotta be terrible to deal with.
Now, the awesome thing, I hate to say it, but the awesome thing that came out of it was like when we had my daughter, we were straight up her ass the minute she came out. Like there was no separation. Mm-hmm. With my son, he has been completely separated from us. Like we have jobs. So, and Kelly's in school. So it was like we weren't able to be there with him all the time. He had other people there. So it was consistently of him being alone, sleeping alone. So like my daughter, getting her to sleep, and we'd have to like rock her to sleep and literally like sleep with her in our arms like this for her to like go to bed for the night, and just be like, well, I guess I'm sleeping here too. And like my son, My son is like, I can just throw him in his crib and roll out and we're good. Like he's out, done. He's been so easy. He basically just sleeps, eats, and now he's starting to move around, stand and stuff. But her way easier, hands down.
I remember when I talked to Tristan about this. I mean, a few years ago now, but about being a parent and all that stuff, and how I wanted to have kids and all that. And I remember what Tristan and what you said to me was that don't rush into anything or whatever, but it's the greatest thing you'll ever do. And I absolutely agree with that. It's fucking amazing. I recommend if you are a responsible person and you don't have the shittiest genes ever and you're going to create a bunch of fucking worthless children, go out and have a kid. It's fucking great.
Yes,
if you're going to be a good parent.
But not just you being a good parent, because like you have to kind of have team regardless. When you have kids, you got you, but you have to have a good spouse regardless. Like you have to have a good team set up, or else you basically are going to like argue with one another in front of the kid and just cause an animosity that you really don't want your child to go through just because you wanted a kid. Having a kid, I think, is wonderful, and I love it. I love every single minute of it, and so does my wife. So it's just like that perfect kind of mixture kind of makes everything flow right, if you know what I mean. But if that
is a very important distinction that you made there, and I think it's definitely very important.
You're a better parent than I am. I don't fucking love every single minute of it. These kids are assholes sometimes.
I mean,
but they're awesome assholes.
You get the idea.
They're like the best assholes.
No, they're just straight assholes sometimes, just for no fucking reason.
They'll polish you on the wall, fucking just kick their hole through the fucking chair.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome. That's badass. Gain your strength up, kick another hole.
I tell people all the time that it's like, it's cool because like my son, he looks like me, but he has like his personality is a little more like my wife, and so he's like friendly and personable, like, and all this shit that I'm not. I'm like, that's awesome. But then every once in a while, when he gets a little pissed off or something, I'm like, all right, that's definitely my kid.
Punches another baby.
Shit is such an asshole. That's me.
Mike, that's your son punched a 1-year-old today.
What?
I just imagine your son just getting involved in like a preschool brawl, just like throwing other babies off of him and just like punching them in the face, and like 2 teachers trying to pull him off of the other kid. That's what I imagine your kid's like.
There's probably going to be a point of that. And
definitely. I know you and I know your wife. That's definitely going to happen. Your child is definitely going to be involved in a brawl in a preschool setting.
Yes. I mean, we almost had that because we were walking through the Disney store for the first time ever. And, that's always a mistake. And kid's losing his mind. Like, I want this, I want this, I want that, I want that, whatever. And then we were winning. He lost his mind over having to have. And like a 4-year-old or a 5-year-old walks by, and my kid just reaches out of the stroller, fucking swats this kid in the chest. And I'm like, sorry, kid. And just really wheeled him away. I'm like, what do you do there? It's like my kid just punched another kid and he's in a stroller. I guess nobody can get super mad at him, but
my favorite thing I saw on the internet today was a photo of Beyonce and Jay-Z went to the Grammys because Jay-Z was nominated for several awards, and they took their daughter, Blue Ivy, who looks like she's maybe like 7. I don't know how old she is now. But there's a photo from in between when they're actually filming and everybody's like getting up and stretching their legs. And Beyonce is there in an outfit that I suspect costs more than any of the cars I own, maybe more than my house. And she's got a fucking pack of shit, what are they fucking called? Fruit snacks and a juice box. And she's fucking feeding her child. And it's like, oh, good. Beyonce's just like the rest of us. Like, she's got to make sure she has a fucking purse or backpack stuffed full of snacks anywhere she fucking goes. That made me feel pretty good about myself.
I always like it when I see it because I don't know how you guys feel, but I feel like parenting is just like a state of controlled chaos at all times. Like, you're never really in control. Yeah. It's like a furious move.
Well, the biggest thing
you're
is
not out of control. You're not in control.
You have no idea what you're doing.
Yeah,
like at all. Yeah, we're just guessing. We're just like, we read some shit on the internet. We probably flipped through a book at one point in time. We have no fucking idea what we're doing.
Yeah,
raising humans, like, it's insane. It's the craziest thing ever.
That's the number one piece of advice I give to new parents is I tell them, look, everybody's got some fucking piece of advice for you. Everybody thinks they've solved the riddle, picked the lock. Everybody knows how to raise the perfect kid. All of us are fucking making it up as we go along, and don't listen to their shit, man. It's just everybody's got a goddamn opinion, and most of them are bullshit, including mine.
I do remember that too. And I said that, I think you told me that immediately after I said that you were one of the few people that I trusted your opinion on stuff. And you're like, no, don't listen to me either. Absolute bullshit.
I think, and the best, so there's like, I think the scariest thing with young kids is not knowing what their allergy is. So you have no idea if they have any type of food allergy. You don't know what they should be eating. Just take them around your in-laws because they'll just shove random food in their face. And I'm just like, no, my kid is 9 months old. He doesn't need a French fry from the bowling alley. It's probably his peanut oil in it. Nah, well, I guess he's not allergic to peanuts. We're good.
YOLO. To be honest, even if they're allergic to peanuts, it's probably not the worst thing that it's been in contact with. The right. Bowling alley French fry, that thing has like Ebola. Fucking who knows what else.
Fucking build up those immunities. Nothing wrong with that.
He's still breathing, so we're good. We're good.
I was actually impressed at how, so my wife is super particular, like very neat, very orderly. I was impressed and proud of her at how quickly she allowed my son to eat stuff off of the floor. I was like, that's right.
You do have to make a decision.
It's like, do you want to cook another meal? Nope.
Because they're gonna throw it on the floor.
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, we got 2 dogs, and literally the minute food, I don't even know where the dogs are at in the house normally. Piece of food touches the ground, it's like comes sliding in from nowhere. That food's gone. The floor's clean. We're good. But she's out of food. I gotta make her something else.
Yeah, the food is gone. Yeah.
Now, do you have to keep your kids away from the dog's food? I've heard. So I don't have pets other than poor Frank here in the Meowschwitz. But
so the dog food was a little bit of an issue. Not necessarily like she never ate it or anything, but she just threw it everywhere. Like it was like the Legos in the house, and I don't want to ever get Legos because.
We lost Dustin.
Oh no.
Either he locked up or his video feed did. Is he an Android? And we didn't know. That now's the time we're finding out.
We've been hacked by Amazon Alexa.
Yeah, no, we invoked Alexa.
Oh, there you go.
Am I back?
Maybe.
Am I back?
He's back.
I heard you guys like the whole time. Like I didn't lose you guys at all.
You just just did one of those, and then you were just frozen.
Technology is fun.
Well, I'm using Wi-Fi. I should have hardlined in. That was stupid. But it's all downstairs and the router's upstairs. I got to run lines down here anyway.
Same situation.
But yeah, so forgot what we were talking about.
So
your kid throwing dog food everywhere.
Yeah, so she just throws dog food everywhere. Not anymore. She knows where to put it. She knows how to scoop it out of the thing. Like she eventually learned how to put it there, but like because the amount of dog food that's been in random places in the house, and I stepped on it and it's shoved into my foot. But yeah, she never ate it. Never ate it. And I don't think I've ever had a problem with that at all. Because, I mean, like, if they do eat dog food, it's good enough for the dog. And kids should be able to eat it too, right?
It's not going to poison her.
Hell, I know Tristan survived.
Right?
Yeah, no, I tried dog food several times. Like, I tried it once, and then I'd tell people I tried it, and they're like, nah, you won't do it again. I'm like, fuck you. Give it to me.
I think he said, what, cat food tasted better? I can't remember.
I don't remember which one at this point. I know I've tried both of them, but and one of them was like a little bit. So my mom back in the day worked for, she was a veterinary sciences major, and she worked for one of the major pet food manufacturers. And they were walking her through one day the manufacturing process, and there was a point in the process where they added salt. And she said, why are you adding salt to the dog food? That, you know, that's not in the dog's dietary requirement. And they don't really care what it tastes like, really, you know, so why are you doing that? And they were like, well, there's a significant percentage of owners who taste the dog's food to make sure that it's something they'll eat. And research has found that they're more likely to buy it if it's got salt in it and they can taste it. It tastes better to the human. And so we put it in there just in case people taste it. The dogs don't care.
That is fucking mind-blowing.
Not to mention, I mean, if you're adding salt, that's kind of like, you know, that's like adding breadcrumb to your burgers. It's, you know, it's kind of beefing up your supply. I mean, it's just salt, but I mean,
right.
You're still kind of using something that's not, you know, you're just kind of
still
buffing
wrapping
it
my
up.
head around that.
I've never forgotten that, and like to this day, I like look at all the dog food in the aisles, and I just imagine all the fucking crazies who get home and they're just like, not necessarily like the dry dog food, but like more like because the people do it with dry dog food, you know, with like those cans of cat food, like they get home, they crack that bitch open, they just like have a little tiny spoon, and they're just, yeah,
that stuff's probably not that bad. I'm not gonna give it a shot.
Try it on air.
Nope. I'll have a natty daddy before that.
You won't finish a can of cat food.
You are correct.
Pussy.
Whatever.
I can say that from here because you won't hit me.
I'm gonna hit somebody because of that.
Right.
What else we got going on?
So I had an idea the other day. I derailed our fitness conversation. I apologize for that, but I had an idea. So one of the things I've been trying to do is just get steps in during the day, right? Like I got one of these Fitbit things, and I bought Susan a treadmill for Christmas. And Susan was a runner several years ago. Between our kids, she ran a half marathon. And it's cold as shit out here in Ohio, so you can't run in the wintertime. So I bought her a treadmill for Christmas so that she could get into running again. And I'm like, well, while it's sitting there, like I might as well, like, you know, get some steps in. And I was like, so I want to do something. I've heard about people who they'll pick a series that they really want to watch, and they only watch that on the treadmill, right? Like my mom did it on a stationary bike. She was like, I really wanted to watch Downington Abbey?
Oh, Downtown Abbey.
Downton Abbey, whatever. So she did that, and I was like, that sounds cool, but do you know what sounds better? Playing video games on the treadmill. I bet I could play Rocket League and walk on the treadmill at the same time. How hard can it be? And the answer is really fucking hard. Don't do it. You'll fall off the back of the treadmill.
Jesus.
I can see maybe a bike. Like if you were biking, you could probably, you know, get your legs going, but you're like stationary.
It's like
fall off.
It's a bandwidth issue. The problem is like, and I can tell. So like if I'm out in the middle of the field and, you know, maybe I'm playing defense and my teammates are chasing the ball in the corner, like I'm fine. But as soon as we get in close on a goal and we're trying to rotate the ball, or we're on defense and the other team is taking shots, my brain just fucking checks out of treadmill land, and I just like will walk right off the side of that thing, or just like my legs slow down. Like it's purely a bandwidth issue. If there's something intense going on, my brain's like, fuck walking.
That's where you gotta post up. You like immediately jump out to the sides and you're like, all right, it's game time.
It is.
And then you never get any walking.
It is incredibly.
Yeah, it's a break time.
You may think it's a fun idea. You are wrong.
I would, as soon as you start saying that, I was like, no, that would. I can't even like, some people will read on a treadmill. I can't do that. Like it's too jarring for me.
But there's people that like literally read and walk around. Like I'm like, how are you able to see anything around you?
That's a great way to die.
You just walk right into traffic.
I just think I've been in the fitness for a long time, but it's like, I think if you're able to do something else while you're doing your fitness regimen, you're not enjoying either of those things.
Really?
I personally don't.
So you go to the gym, it is like there's no headphones, there's nothing. You just go there and you're just fucking moving heavy objects.
I mean, music is one thing. I mean, you can sort of just zone out in music.
Sure.
But I mean, if you're doing something that requires your attention, if you're I don't even know if I could do like an audiobook at the gym. I think I'd even struggle with that because I think that would take away from my attention.
Yeah.
But music, I think music's great for working out.
Okay. But so I was just curious.
I don't know how people will read. That's the big one. Or, they'll have their iPad out and they're like browsing and stuff. Like if you're able to do that when you're doing your workout, you're not getting a workout.
Right.
Yeah. Because that's what, I mean, number one is consistency. If you're trying to get in shape, is just continuing to go. And I think right behind that is intensity. You have to continue, everybody starts somewhere, but you have to always push yourself a little bit more, or you're never going to improve. And I think that's what most people miss about fitness. They'll do the same 3 sets of 10 at the same weight or the same, 10 minutes on the treadmill at the same setting forever and never improve. And it's because you're not pushing yourself.
Right.
And it's kind of hard to push yourself if you're in the middle of a great book.
How about you, Dustin? Is it pornography at the gym? What's the secret?
So I don't know if you know this show called Psych.
Yeah.
I never even cared about this show. And somebody told me about it. Someone was like, you never saw Psych? Like, what is wrong with you? That show's been over. You need to go check it out. So I'm on season 5 now. Pretty good show. And I did. I took it to the gym with me. I put on the treadmill and I walked. And before I knew it, I was down, 4 episodes. My 2 hours was up because now I got to go to work, get shower in and everything. Like I just walked on a treadmill. I can walk for days. Walking's not a problem for me. It's not fitness. That's walking. And that's like my cool down, beginning, kind of stretch everything out. And at the end, I do a walk too to cool down. But like, that's not my workout. So because of that, I kind of screwed myself out of that day of working out. But I do kind of like, I do my cool down. I get on. I actually have 7 ACL tears in my left leg. That's kind of the reason I had to get out of the Marine Corps. Backed up. Kept doing what's called flak runs.
How many ACLs do you have?
just one. It's torn in 7 places. It's 2.5 inches longer on my left side than my right side.
Jeez.
So basically, I was in Italy at the time. We kept doing flak runs. So literally, we put on flak, Kevlar, and our packs, and we go for a 10-mile run.
Wi-Fi.
I bet the end of that story is amazing.
If you're catching this, Dustin, we're not hearing you right now.
I developed a strategy on my second run on the treadmill when I was like, nope, Rocket League's not the answer. I was like, okay, I'll watch Breaking Bad on the treadmill, which was great. And so like I got on and I walked at a brisk pace. But then when it got boring, like whenever Hank's wife was on screen, I'd run. And then like when it got exciting again, I'd go back to walking. So like that was kind of that was my strategy.
It's interval training. Oh wait, I think you're back.
Am I back?
I think he's back.
Yeah, I never lose you guys. It's always just I drop out.
Kevlar runs 10 miles, Italy, go.
Yes. So I kept popping my leg. I kept taking it to the docs. They're like, we're gonna give you physical therapy. And then they're like, okay, 2 weeks and you're good to go again. So then I get back out there and knee pops again. So finally they take me to get an MRI and they said, something's definitely wrong. What's wrong with you? And I was like, how come? And they're like, well, we had to send you to an MRI in Italy and nobody can translate the Italian doctor's handwriting because you know how doctors write sloppy shit anyway. So he wrote sloppy shit in Italian and a bunch of slang. So there's like literally no way to tell what the hell the doctor was even saying. So I got stateside, they kept me over there because I was and I worked on the satellite. So it was affected by my leg. So they kept me on. I got back over and they kept me on active duty for me to go get my medical stuff seen. Finally, they're like, wow, this is crazy. And like the doctor after doctor kept coming in to do like this come along maneuver on my knee. And literally it was just like, like you could, like when they're doing it, you could just feel how loose it was compared to this side. They tugged and it was just like taut. This one was like, had all kinds of give. And they're like, yeah, you're just going to be in pain on your left side forever. So I can't run on a treadmill. That's the reason for the entire story. Can't run on the treadmill. I can, but it's painful, like really painful. So like elliptical is kind of my go for.
Your days on your knees are over.
Basically.
Like, there goes my Saturday night.
But I basically got I can get on there. I kind of bite the bullet and just roll with it. Like I'm just gonna run. If it pops, it pops. But I'm just gonna try to run. I've gotten into 1.5 miles is like the maximum that I've been able to run on a treadmill before I'm like out for 2 days, basically. So I kind of have to realize that I can't screw myself over when I go working out. I have to make sure that I'm able to get my cardio in.
So let me ask you this real quick. So this is probably a stupid question because you are, I think you're still going to Planet Fitness, which is the worst gym ever. Do they have a row machine?
Cheap. No, they don't.
So the best cardio you can do is a row machine, I think.
Really? Yeah, that makes sense. It's
if
just
you have
like
access
a
to
full body thing. Yeah.
It's fantastic. If you even push yourself just a little bit, you will hate your life in moments. and it's fantastic cardio. It's very low impact. The only problem you could have is if you have, you might still have some issues because of the damage that's already there, but it's not going to do like extra damage. So that's a great one. I'd say since you have all these injuries, stay away from the impact cardio and do the ellipticals. I wouldn't say go all the way to stationary bikes because to be honest, that's almost like you're not doing anything at all. You might as well just walk. You'll probably almost get more from walking than you will from a stationary bike. But an elliptical is a good compromise. You're not going to get quite as much of a workout as you would in running on a treadmill, but you're not going to beat the fuck out of your knee and potentially keep you from working out.
A lot of my cardio I also gain from so I don't actually just go up and like put all the weights I can on the bar and try to push max weight. So a lot of mine is like 40, 50 pounds dumbbells and just doing all different types of workouts with those quickly. Do a bunch of quick reps, hit a couple of the machines way back to the elliptical, run on the elliptical, go back and do it again, and just kind of keep until I can't. See, I get a little bit dizzy, and then I'm like, I got to go walk for a minute, and then I out. I mean, even doing sit-ups and crunches, and I don't even know the workout's called when you kick your feet up, and you're on the little thing and you kick your feet all the way up, or you hang from the hang from the pull-up bars and do toe touches.
Yeah, leg raises and all that shit.
Yes. So like all that and like a quick repetition almost is basically how I've been getting my cardio in. Like I'm sweating my ass off by the time I leave. I'm not because I take a shower.
I'm a big fan of that. I think that because I almost, unless I'm literally trying to cut weight, I don't do like purely cardio. I'll just change up how I do my workouts, like, you know, just to burn a little more and, you know, keep active the whole time instead of going for maximal output or something. I'll just continue, like, always keep under tension. Like you're constantly switching to the next thing. And it's, I think that's the best thing anybody can do. But I mean, everyone.
Yeah. Cause the biggest thing I have an issue with, cause you know, Planet Fitness is a judgment free zone. To use a machine or go up to use a bench, and you got this guy who's just sitting there on his phone. Why the fuck are you checking your stocks right now? Like you're at the gym. Like I get that you maybe trying to change a song, got to send a text message, but literally like people are just on, and like I'll finish like and I'll do my whole round of like 15 exercises, come all the way back, same spot on his phone. Why?
You know what? You know what you should do? Like, you can avoid the whole Planet Fitness thing. So, like, you can buy them on the internet. Like, it's this little box, and it's got these wires with stickers, and you just put them on your abs, and they just like fucking electrocute you. You can just sit on the couch,
Shut the fuck
watch
up.
Psych. It works out for you. Like, you don't gotta go anywhere. You don't have to do anything. Like, it's super easy. Like, you guys are bitching about gym bros and stuff. Cut all that shit out. Just fucking electrodes right to the abs.
You don't even have to do that. You can just go to that It Works company, wrap your torso in saran wrap and vitamins, and
so
boom, six pack.
Somebody just like
I actually
like your T1000 now, and like you get ripped that way. I don't know how these things work.
I actually had one of these thing I called a fat sucker. It was a waist trainer basically. And I used it back in the past where I just put it on and I just go to the gym with this thing on. It just like sucked all my fat up to myself. Made me sick. But I mean, I lost weight at the same time, so I don't know if it worked or not. It's working out pretty heavy. Probably did.
It didn't.
Probably did.
It made you feel
nobody
better.
knows. Nobody knows. That's the fun.
If it kept you in there, then it did work.
Can I just wrap myself in like super tight like gauze every day and just like squeeze the fat out of me like mayonnaise? Is that like a thing that'll just like top the bottom?
You got to use like what muscles you have as sandpaper against the fat that's pushing up against it.
Yeah. Like a tube of toothpaste.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then strap onions to your feet.
Everybody knows. And I thought it was potatoes.
That's
don't you have to like
wait?
Don't you have to light some honey next to you before bed?
I haven't heard that one. Is that really one?
No. So there was one that drove me insane because somebody shared it on Facebook, and it was Himalayan salt mixed with honey. I can't remember. And I was like, none of that is a sleep aid. I was like, none of it actually has any properties to assist you with sleeping. If you broke those 3 ingredients down, they're not going to help you with, especially pink Himalayan salt. That is the biggest ruse and most annoying thing I've ever seen is pink Himalayan salt. I knock it off people's counters at their houses. Don't have it at your house. I'll knock the shit
You know what I
over.
use to help me sleep? It's a mixture of pink Himalayan salt and Fireball. I leave out the pink Himalayan salt.
Can I get a scotch and water? Cold water.
I'll be sleeping like a baby in about 40 minutes.
Oh, God. So yeah. I'll do one last quick fitness segue before we jump into Would You Rather. So I started at a physical therapy place, which is like 90% your traditional treatment, you know.
People trying to get Percocets?
Yeah, mainly. So no,
basically.
so stretches, exercises, some massage, like that sort of stuff. But then they have like 10% of the practice is some of that veering into questionable territory for me.
Okay.
Where there's this one mat that sends specially charged, like it's a certain number of volts.
No.
And it's set at a specific frequency, and it's supposed to like heal your whole body. And there's all this literature that supposedly helps. And I'm like, that doesn't, no. I mean, feels good. I've tried the thing because I'm like, if this is going to be offered here, I need to at least see what it's about. I mean, no. I mean,
all right.
That shit doesn't do shit.
Is there a hippie like magic? Is there a thing that maybe that seems like bullshit, but you maybe think it works? Is there one of those things that maybe you believe in? Like, do you believe in maybe the cryogenic freezing works? Do you think that maybe like the electrochemical mat or whatever the fuck you're sleeping on at work works? Is there one of those that you're like, you know what, this seems like bullshit, bro, but like I'm pretty sure it's legit?
Well, so the problem is the ones that I think work are the ones where it's like half true science and half BS. So you have ones like TENS machines where it's like the electrodes, like the same thing that's incorporated in those weight belts that shock your stomach to get you a 6-pack abs.
Are those like, is there a thing like, is there a version of that works for like actually healing things?
For healing and treatment, yes, I think so. For exercise, gaining muscle, losing fat, absolutely not.
Okay.
But in rehab, they use it so it shocks your muscles. So it's like it's almost like a massage. So it's like forcing your muscles to respond, and it brings blood flow there. It sort of activates the whole area. That tends to work in general. Like, you probably could sit there and just massage your muscle and it would get a similar effect. But yes, it does work to that degree. It's just when you get into the realm where they're like, no, if I do that and then strap onions to my feet, I'm going to lose 10 pounds. No, that's not going to
I'm detoxifying.
Don't judge. Yeah. Fuck, Dustin, is that a fucking Pit Boy in your hands? Is that what's fucking going on right now?
I was trying to fit my phone in it, but I guess it doesn't fit. Like,
did you print that or did you buy that from somewhere?
Yeah, I bought it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have printed one, real crappy. So I adjusted some settings and then never printed it again.
Oh,
you're like, oh, I have this huge project. I'm gonna print this great lightsaber, and then it's like, you know, fuck it, I'm just gonna build it out of PVC pipe.
That's one of those.
A lot simpler.
That's exactly what I did.
That Pit Boy and a lightsaber. Those are two things that I want really badly. As much as I could want something without wanting to pay money for it. Does that make sense? Like,
Dustin, do you happen to have the thing for the Raspberry Pi, the little mini Nintendo case? Did you end up printing that?
He did, but he's dead now.
Oh no, he froze again.
He's back.
Am I back? Okay.
He wasn't the victim of a nuclear strike. Good news.
So, yeah, I have them just around. I have no idea. And they're just kind of hanging out. But I got a bunch of other stuff that I've been kind of putting on display. Like, this is the
fucking Daredevil
mask. They're like just right on the printer, fits and everything. It has like a back to it. It's never printed, like never painted it. So like that is kind of like how shit prints out.
So for those of you who don't know, Dustin is the current leader in coolest backgrounds to his broadcast. That fucking 3D printer going in the background the whole time. I've just been staring at that thing. What are you building right now?
So this is actually Super Meat Boy.
Oh, that's cool.
It was made by Chaos Core Tech. They have a YouTube channel or whatever. But the dude was just making models and then just give them away for free. It's one of his Super Meat Boy. I figured for gaming dads related, I was like, oh, Super Meat Boy, that'd be perfect.
So the new machine you're getting, is this the one that like prints guns? Is that the one you're getting next?
So there's a huge thing with printing guns. And like everybody's like, oh yeah, you can print a gun. But it's just like the material. We have materials now that are better. But it's just like you're going to get 2 shots off and then your gun's going to blow up in your hands.
Right.
Like regardless. Like I've never considered even trying because the plans are out there. So it's like I've never considered even thinking about a gun because there's like so many other cool shit that I can make. Like at work, I actually got us to incorporate a 3D printer with work. Like I told them, I was like, hey, we can't get this part, but I can make it on my 3D printer. They looked at me weird, and I was like, I have a 3D printer. It prints 3D. It's like a glue gun and a robot. They're like, whatever. Just no, don't waste your time. I got annoyed. I just brought.
Knowing how management works, I know exactly. I can see the looks on their faces. It's so vivid in my mind.
I'm sorry. I know you're not supposed to do this anymore, but like a glue gun and a robot together,
It just does. And it's just like, all right,
the files are in the computer.
Like, where do you get them from? And I'm like, well, you can make the file, or you can just download a file that somebody else has already made. They're like, but why would they make the file? Like, because they had the same issue. File. But I make a lot of files too. Actually, Thingiverse is where I put all my stuff up. A lot of people copyright their stuff, so you can't actually sell their stuff legally, technically, but everybody does anyway. Like this guy. Little baby Groot with his missing arm. So like this guy, he was in Russia who made the model, and he gave it away for free. He was like, do whatever the hell you want with it, and it was awesome. Some company in Ove 3D grabbed him up real quick and was like, hey, you want to be a part of our team? Take back your model that you said you gave everybody for free, and like literally ripped the model out from everybody and was like, no, it's copywritten now. You can't sell the model. You can't do anything with the model. A bunch of people were selling it. And now it's like to the guy. Cause at first,
couldn't you just modify it slightly? And then it's like, prove it's not mine. Like it's got like an extra.
Yes, but it's like,
off of them.
you have to do it more than like slightly. Because like Disney actually went through a Thingiverse and like took all the Star Wars stuff off. There was people who had like very good, like one dude modeled R2-D2 like top to bottom, 100%. You could build 102 just out of this dude's files. It took you like $300 to $400 worth of filament to print it all. Scale, print. You'd have every single piece to an authentic looking R2-D2, and all these files were taken down due to Disney, just because they're, the likeness was of their character. So it happens, but it's like it's not that big of a deal. Like this guy.
Okay. So let's walk down this road. I'm just curious, as a guy who is into this stuff and is a creator and is a fan of these kind of things, like, I sense some kind of animosity in your voice at Disney, like they should not have done what they did. So what's the future look like for people who create things if we're just allowed to copy and distribute anything forever for free?
So that's the thing, is like there's not just like at work, I create parts that are no longer available. So like recently, I created.
That's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about.
He's gonna segue.
No, he's not. That's not what he's doing. He's pivoting. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'll get back to you on it. So like that, the thing that I modeled for that AC unit part that belongs to Harrier. So like technically, they created that part already. And now I'm kind of bypassing them and I'm creating a brand new part that's the exact same thing. I'm literally copying, like if you were to take a book and go to Kinko's and say, hey, copy this book out for me. It's almost the identical thing. And same with a likeness of a character. If you have somebody who actually created a model 2D2 of, Boba Fett, see Iron Man back there, and you created an Iron Man statue, and you literally spent the time and the hours to actually 3D model that to an extent and get it so it's 3D printable and get it so somebody could actually, that model's just taken from you and said, no, you can't distribute this model. You can't allow people to print it. Generally, you can hold on to the model yourself, but it's still a little jacked up on,
But they didn't create Iron Man. They didn't create R2-D2. That's not theirs to distribute. If I create a character that people really identify with, if I create some sort of robot and I write about him and he's created a movie that is licensed to me, why do these people then just get to use what I came up with to make money? Now, for the record, Iron Man back there is that is a print that was made on the internet by somebody who doesn't own Iron Man, and then I printed it on a color printer at the shop that I used to work with and mounted it to a foam board, and then my mom framed it using materials at her shop that she probably didn't pay for. So I'm not standing on a mountain here and saying that I'm better than everybody else. I'm just asking what the future looks like for creatives who come up with these things if everybody can copy everything that they want all the time without consequence.
So and that's kind of like a big, I don't know. Cause like there was one guy who got on cause I'm also in a 3D printing group, of course. There's a guy who got on there and it's like, I don't understand. No, it's just 3D printing just outright. But, there's a guy that got on there, and was being pissy, and he's like, I guess this stuff isn't for me, da 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 da. And people were asking him questions like, why? Like, what are you crazy? And they're like, he's like, 3D printing is nothing more than printing trinkets and toys. And, sometimes you can print something that's useful. He's like, and going forward, just like I was talking about with the AC unit, like printing that replaceable part, like who's to say that company is not going to build that part themselves? You can only get it from us. And then you might have to, maybe there's like an iTunes type of store set up where they're going to make you buy, their thing. But you can model yourself. But, they would be like, if you make it yourself at home, they have zero control over it. Share that file that's in a likeness to their file. There could be, they're probably trying to already work on litigation against that, like already. I'm pretty damn sure they are, which would be ridiculous.
I think it's okay for people to protect their property. I think that's fine. I do have a little bit of a problem with the people that are a little overzealous with it, which is like Nintendo and Disney, that they're like super aggressive about it. Like,
yeah, no. I mean,
I don't blame them. I don't blame them. I don't like it.
Don't get to make money off their product without asking.
So, like, all right. So, if I had something that broke, and I wanted to replace it, like toaster oven broke, the knob broke off of it. Now I cannot get a replacement knob. I have to literally buy a brand new toaster oven. So instead, I took the broken one, I measured it all out. I 3D printed a new knob for it. Now I don't need a new toaster oven. So I guess their part was, we're not going to make a replacement part, so people have to buy new toaster ovens.
Right.
But instead, now I can just print it. So now that's kind of a conflict of interest for them.
Well, that's
eventually if they get into the game of trying to take it out.
As long as you don't make an Iron Man toaster oven knob, I think you're okay. It's
I get it. I mean, this is a big thing. Like, I mean, so like Apple right now, who like I'm a big fan of, but like, Apple is trying on purpose to make it so that you can't fix your own phone. Like that's their thing. They want to control the repair process. They want to make all that money from all of those repairs. They're trying to make it so it's difficult. 4 years ago, I replaced the screen on Susan's phone, my wife's phone. I don't know that that's like possible for like a normal person anymore. Like I get it. This is an argument. I wrote an article years ago by the editor over at Cracked. He wrote John Dies at the End. He goes by David Wong. He wrote an interesting article about the future of these kind of things. And he opened it up by saying, like, if you wanted to go out and download, how much pornography could you download for free? If you just went out and you made it your mission just to download every bit of pornography for free that you could. The answer is all of the pornography, right? You could literally come back with hundreds of thousands, millions of hours of pornography without paying a dime. You could download it onto your computer because it just exists everywhere, which is interesting. But the kind of stuff that you guys are doing with the 3D printing is what's really scary to the rest of the corporate world, because we're not just talking about digital files. We're not talking about Metallica songs or porno or, video games. Now we're talking about physical objects that exist in the real world. That fucking shit. Would you download a car that played in front of those movies years ago, right?
Yes.
Goddamn right I would.
Yes, I fucking would.
That shit's becoming a reality. That's what's going on behind you. It's not that long. It's not tomorrow. It's not next month or next year, but it's not that far away where you could download a scooter, a motorcycle, a car. That's why this shit's scary. So that's why I ask you what the future looks like to you, because I find that stuff interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it all really depends on the size of your machinery too. So like, I'm not printing a car on either one of these machines, but like when you get to the point of, they do have machines now that are building houses by 3D printing them.
Yeah,
there you have big, huge crane that's freaking just like printing out houses and like subsidized living for people. But like, it's going to get to a point that there's going to be companies that are going to be like, look, if you want this part, you got to get it from us. And, it's going to cost X amount of dollars. And I said in the future, they're definitely going to be holding people more accountable for it. Or they could just like totally flop and they don't even care. They're just like, we're still making our money, so it doesn't matter. Because I can't print a washer. I can only print a couple parts for it. I can't print an entire AC unit. I can only print a couple plastic pieces for it. Maybe a nylon washer here and there. But it's like, you're not replacing the manufacturers outright. You're only replacing a couple pieces. And like the toys and stuff like that,
for now,
way more. Yeah, it's true. I mean, you're getting into like full color 3D printing and stuff, but like a lot of the stuff is very stationary, and you can make like D&D figurines. I think Warhammer and D&D is kind of getting a lot of hits on the 3D printing side, especially with resin 3D printing. It's just a lot more detailed. I mean, you can literally get yourself 3D scanned and make yourself a D&D character if you wanted to.
Shit, yeah.
I would do that, and I don't even play D&D. We've talked about this before. If you can customize something, I'm down.
Yeah, I got the Xbox Connect scanner. I just haven't even bothered trying to hook it up yet. But yeah, they have a whole tutorial on how to do it. Just haven't done it yet.
Jeez.
But yeah, definitely want to do that one day.
Moral of the story: the future is bleak. We're all going to die. It's going to be a horrible, crazy world to live in. We're running low on time. We're probably over anyway, but let's jump into some Would You Rather.
Let's do this.
Would you rather crush a light bulb with your bare hands or super glue your hands and fingers together?
Crush a light bulb. 100% crush a light bulb.
Yeah? What do you think?
Yes,
it seems like crushing a light bulb with my hands wouldn't be that bad, but I've never tried to do it. It might be one of those things where like I think it's easy and then I do it and I'm like, oh fuck, this is the worst decision I ever made. I keep.
The only question I have is, am I like I just have to just mush it, or is it like I can carefully, like, deliberately crush this light bulb? If I can do that, then I choose that. Otherwise, I'll do the super glue, because then, yeah, that's gonna hurt. But that's like, it'd be as painful as ripping a Band-Aid off if you just do it really.
See, but
really
nothing.
slow.
It doesn't say like, can you use like some acetone on that to try to get it off afterwards? Because like,
well, how you opening that acetone with your hands glued together?
elbows a little bit.
This comes up on Would You Rather occasionally, but I keep thinking about that. I forget what that movie was with Ryan Gosling where he like tries to punch out the window and open the lock on the other side and he fucking cuts himself open and bleeds all over the fucking place. That's what I think about with that light bulb. Like I'm worried that like I would try that and be like, this can't be that fucking hard. It's like, and then fucking cuts my wrist open. Yeah, I die right there on the floor. So I might go with the super glue out of cowardice.
I think the safer route is the super glue.
Yeah, I'm not gonna die.
It may be super uncomfortable, but over time, it's just gonna. Right. You can sweat. I think I'd probably go that way just to be safe.
I'm still light bulb. Just to smash the shit out of it.
Fuck that shit. All right. Would you rather be someone really short whose last name is Short, or be someone overweight whose last name is Skinny? I know what I'd pick.
Yeah, I think I'd go with overweight and skinny. I don't think I want to be short.
I say the same thing. At that point, it's hilarious.
Yes.
That's like when you see a big ass motherfucker that goes by tiny.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
That's awesome.
It's Absolutely. Funny. So I've been talking to my son about this lately. He came home. So my son's really little. He always has been. He's short. He's really little for his age. And he came home a couple of weeks ago and he says, the kids at school call me Little Connor and he hates it. And there's this quote that was tickling me at the back of the head, and I had to go look it up, and then I've been telling him about it lately, and it's a quote by Tyrion from Game of Thrones. He says, never forget what you are, wear it like armor, and your enemies can never use it to hurt you. And so I've been telling him lately, I'm like, no, when they call you Little Connor, like introduce yourself, say I'm Little Connor, like, you know, it's cool, it's a nickname, like fucking, you know,
get that rap career started.
Yeah, right, whatever, man. You're Little Connor, like just own it, and that's the way to get around those things. So I gotta go with last name Short.
All right. I didn't know where you were going with that, but that's
sorry. Yeah, no, it's funny. I was just having that conversation with him maybe two days ago. So
I'm saying it's
funny
good.
You bring that up.
The good food's always at the top shelf. I can't help any old ladies at the grocery store if I'm short.
There you go.
So that's just my reasoning behind that. So, the overweight guy, like, I got you with these donuts, shorty, older one.
They just eat them. I was like, don't fuck with skinny. Would you rather drink liquid found leaking from a garbage bag?
Jesus.
Or chew on a hairy substance found between the cushions of an old couch?
Mike, I'm going to need a call here. Where is the garbage bag from?
Just say a kitchen garbage bag.
From my kitchen.
You'll say your kitchen. Let's say it's a stranger's couch. No, let's say a stranger's garbage bag, like a home garbage bag.
Okay.
And a stranger's couch.
Stranger's kitchen or stranger's couch. Read the second one to me again.
So drink liquid found leaking from a garbage bag, or chew on a hairy substance found between the cushions of an old couch.
I gotta go with liquid.
I gotta go with
liquid from the kitchen. Yeah. I mean, because, you know, the liquid could be food substance. Hair, like you're literally putting hair in your mouth.
And what do? You just chew it for a bit? Like it doesn't go away. Right. You drink the liquid, you drink it, it's gone.
Like in it. Right.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. It's probably, I mean, if it leaks out of a kitchen garbage bag, it's probably not jizz. So yeah, I'll probably.
I mean, we're all dads here, and we all have had diapers inside there, though. So,
that's no, the only thing diapers go in the kitchen garbage bag. Oh yeah, no, you're right. Fuck.
So there is that.
Hairy stuff in the couch. I don't know.
That's still good for liquid. It's all edible at that point.
Yeah, that's true.
all food.
I'm sticking with liquid.
It doesn't say how much. If I can take a shot of it, just fucking call it a day.
Yeah,
Okay.
shot of trash water.
Right. Yep. Oh,
Probably
God.
tastes like Natty Daddy.
God damn it. Ugh.
Would you rather have to spend your entire life as a 63-year-old person or as a 13-year-old person?
13.
No,
I changed that because you know what? I do like. I don't remember the damn restaurant's name now. It's not even Red Robin. It's the other one that's like Red Robin.
Johnny Rockets.
they're all the same.
No,
Famous Dave's.
but it's like, could you imagine just like every day just being able to go get that senior discount? Like, no problem.
Fucking Dustin's just at Applebee's every day.
Don't you have to be
Fuck it.
65?
That salad bar?
Or is it 60?
No, I thought it was 60.
I don't know.
And you have to work. You have to worry about no one telling you what to do. You can drive all fucked up. Be like, yeah, fuck you. I'm parking sideways this time, bitch.
I'm gonna go with
Handicap
13.
spot on lock.
I'm gonna go with 13. You could still be charismatic and interesting, and might be hard to get a job, but you know, you could take up, I don't know, like drug dealing or something, or
Yeah, you'll never get the full charge. You're underage.
Lawn mowing, lemonade stand.
Yeah, lemonade stand, that's probably profitable.
Start hustling drugs at that age, right?
yeah.
Dare to dream,
You're
motherfucker.
small. You can get into tight spots.
Might be able to, find a 15, 16-year-old girl. Like, sounds like a reasonable existence. It doesn't say you have to go to high school forever, so there's that.
Yeah. Yeah, I might go. I'll go 13. Wait. When do we hit puberty?
14? No, 13.
I was assuming. Are we a prepubescent 13-year-old girl? That's different. 13-year-old boy. That changes the question.
Whoa.
If you're a 13-year-old girl.
We're on to you, Tristan. We'll say that I just threw a wrench in that shit.
Changes the context of the question.
I dropped out again.
I'm
You're
gonna
there.
go ahead and say, oh yeah, your video. Oh, there you are.
I see him.
Weird. So I think I might have to go be the 63-year-old just because I know what to expect to some degree. I imagine it will be pretty much how I am now, but like fatter and more uncomfortable.
And everybody would you'd get away with all your like shitty behavior. Everybody would just be like, that's just how he is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll lean that way.
Get the cool, like, little, remote control wheelchair.
Oh yeah, just run into shit on purpose and pretend it was an accident. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Let's
I see the
remember we are grossly overestimating how old 63 is.
It's true.
Depends.
My
We
mom's-
are
My
closer
mom's
to
60
that.
now, and she
We
can
are
definitely run
closer
around
to
still.
that than we are to being born.
Is it how Mikey's gonna look when he's 63, or is it how I'm gonna look when I'm 63? Those are different like questions.
Oh, next one. That's depressing. That's too not
I'm
that
definitely
any of
gonna be
these
on my
are
like,
ever
second
like
heart attack and maybe first stroke at that point. Like fucking half.
Oddly enough, none of these are ever a ray of sunshine. Would you rather work as an armpit sniffer for a deodorant testing company,
That one.
or no? He's like, sign me up. Fuck it, I'll do that now. Or as a hairstylist for dead people in a mortuary.
What I tell you.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll go deodorant. If it was just armpit sniffer with no additional deodorant part, you at least know they're gonna say, like, boom, here's our new deodorant.
Oh, I
Smell that
assumed
armpit.
I assumed you were responsible for like before and after.
Still, they're alive. That's a lot
Yeah.
more manageable.
No, hanging around dead people all day, that'd be And making their hair look nice, man, that'd be weird. This is the last haircut you'll ever.
You bust out the comb and you're just like, oh, hey, girl, I got you.
Oh,
It's like,
We're not. I
smell
got you with this
pretty.
braid, this French braid over here.
So we gotta see. I'm only 2 feet away.
yeah, you missed this by 8 inches.
Oh, you haven't. The world will never know how close that was.
It looked pretty close. I saw it flash by the bottom.
I'm waiting for that time where it just like smacks against the camera.
Never gonna happen.
It's bound to happen.
Like
Well, probably not.
Plate glass.
But anyway, we've run through our time. Thank you very much for joining us for another Last Call podcast. Thank you very much, guys, for joining me, talking about all this dumb shit that we always talk about.
Good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming, Dustin.
Bring me any other time you want.
Absolutely.
I just hang out anyway.
We love to have people back. Get a check in and see how people are doing. And until the next time, we'll see y'all on the next Last Call.
See you.